Thank you, Akos. Hello, everyone. So, Akos emphasized how important performance is from the experience point of view. Let me also emphasize another point of view that I consider as important as the experience itself, and this is business, and basically this is where we are here. And why it is important is because performance is also about actions that we repeat all over and over again in our daily work, but we are not paid for, like opening a file. Is there anyone who is paid for opening a file? Not really, right? You're paid for designing the building, right? So that's it, but we've got to do that anyway. So in this version of ARCHICAD, we focused on those things in the performance improvements, which takes a lot of time, takes a lot of attention, but they're not part of your core business. So just let's imagine that you return to your office. It's the morning, people come in, they fire up the computers and the coffee machine in somewhat order, and you're about to start working. So what is the thing mostly people do? They just like to continue the project they worked before in the previous day. So there is a file, what they want to open. So let's open a project. So in the previous versions of ARCHICAD, what happened at the opening process is that ARCHICAD started asking questions and prompting and interrupting the opening process and requiring user interaction on the spot about license information, missing hot links, maybe library parts, some outdated drawings, and things that are not really relevant to sort out in the opening process. Actually, it doesn't even let me to finish my sentence, if you recognize. So that's it. Welcome to ARCHICAD 23. All right, so this is one thing when we explicitly know what project to open, but there is another case when we're uncertain about that. So let's see an example on what happens if we don't know exactly what project to open. And start ARCHICAD again to see how startup works from now on. In ARCHICAD 23, we've got a brand new startup dialog box with a lot of additional features. If we don't know the name exactly, we can use the search field to type something. And this search field does not only searches in the file names, but also in the project info. If you are more visual kind, you can also use the preview pictures. Now, these preview pictures are not just static images, but they play a slideshow about the open tab pages of your project. So, another easy way to choose your project you're going to continue with. And the good news is that while we're spending our time here to pick the project, in the background, the computer continues to load the different parts of the software into the memory. So by the time we click on anything here, it will be up and running to open our project. We also have a nice list view, and the last case I'd like to emphasize here is what if I'd like to open multiple projects in one run. So from now on, it is also possible. You can have multi-selection, and if you click the Open button, it will start as many ARCHICAD instances as necessary to open all projects selected here. Okay, so let's quit this for now and return to our real project. That is a nice residential building from AGP Architects, built in Southampton, UK. This is an award-winning residential tower project. Special thanks to the company to let us use it as a demonstration. So this is my project, but before we start actually design, we have to think about where all these previous questions go. And for those people who are really in charge of sorting out the questions, like be managers or project coordinators, we designed a center interface that is called the Action Center. So this interface collects all diagnostic data from now on, and these people can find those. There is a direct access to those dialog boxes where actually the problems can be solved. And it is also color-coded, so once a problem is solved, the color will instantly change in the Action Center view. All right, so the second challenge to work effectively is finding the right way we like to develop our model. And in case of such a complex project, it sometimes is a challenge because we might have many different web pages open and it is hard to distinguish which is which, right? So for example, here I have many views open, but because the beginning of the view name is the same, I have no idea what is what. So we could go with the traditional try and error way and just starting open it, but it would require a lot of time, and we all know time is money. So instead, from ARCHICAD 23, what you can do, you can just simply hover your cursor over the preview to show its content. So whichever view I like to go, all I need to do, I hover my cursor over the view, and as you can see, it immediately shows you the picture, how it looked like before I left this page. All right, so now our project is healthy, our issues are solved. Now we can find the view easily. That is great. So all we need to do now is design and develop our model. Finally, great. So let's talk about view updates now, because this is also a quite challenging thing. We model something, so how long we've got to wait until all the relevant views get updated. Let's do a little experiment. So we've got this flow plan here, and we also have a 3D. So now I'm going to do some modeling. Of course, just for the sake of the demo, I'm going to place some walls on the top of this roof here. So what is going to happen if I switch back to the flow plan? Is it going to redraw the entire thing just for the sake of these 3 walls? Let's try. Of course not. So the view is there instantly, and in a fraction of seconds, my new walls appear. So in this demo, we could just show you these examples on how we improve the performance of ARCHICAD 23, but there are many other areas in the software when you can meet these enhancements. So I wish you to try it with your own workflow and find your favorites. Thank you.